Section 50 of A Guidebook of Art, Architecture, and Historic Interests in Pennsylvania, edited by Margaretta Archambault. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Tatiana Chichilla, Bradford County. Formed February 21, 1810 as Ontario, on March 24, 1812, named in honor of William Bradford, an Attorney General in the Cabinet of Washington. Surface hilly or rolling. Chief industries are dairying and breeding of fine cattle and thoroughbred horses. Said to be first place on record visited by a white man in Pennsylvania. In 1615, Stephen Brule, explorer and interpreter for Samuel Champlain, with 12 Huron Indians, came to Carouantian, a palisaded village of the Carouantianace, on Spanish Hill, just above present towns of Sayre and Athens. He found here 800 warriors, 500 of whom went with him to aid Champlain against the Onondaga stronghold in New York. Brule returned to Carouantian, remained during the winter of 1615-16, and explored the Susquehanna River to the sea, making report to Champlain. First rode was the great Indian warpath along the Susquehanna, used by General Sullivan and his Continental Army in expedition against the Indians in 1779. The state road from Wilkes-Barre, up the river, through Wyoming and Bradford counties, is substantially on this old trail. Historic places along the road are well marked. A monument 13 feet high, native stone, from Campbell's Ledge above Pittston, erected by the Moravian Historical Society in 1871 near Wyalusing, marks location of the Moravian mission. Inscription: to mark site of Friedenschuten, Macwillising, a settlement of Moravian Indians between 1765 to 1772. This mission was removed to Beaver County in 1772. Farther west, near the Presbyterian Church, is a large boulder with bronze tablet. Inscription: near the site from August 5 to 8, 1779, camped the army of Major General Sullivan on their expedition against the Six Nations, erected by Macwillising Chapter, DAR, 1914. This road, after leaving Wyalusing, leads over the hill a distance from the river, to which it returns again at Rummerfield, near where Mrs. Roswell Franklin was killed by Indians. Her family was rescued. Farther up the river is the county's oldest historic landmark on west bank of the Susquehanna, Standing Stone, 25 feet high, 21 feet at base, tapers from 4 to 3 feet in thickness rising out of the water, a landmark even in early Indian history, plainly visible from the road. General Sullivan's army of 3,500 men camped on the plain opposite. 3 miles east of Towanda is Wysocks Village and Creek. In front of an old brick church is where Major Henry Van Campen, with 2 other captives, succeeded in releasing themselves, under guard by twice their number of Indians, killing all except 1. Near is a large boulder of Barclay sandstone with bronze tablet. Inscription: this stone commemorates the passing through Wesoking, August 9th and October 4th, 1779, of Major General John Sullivan and his troops against the Six Nations. Erected 1908 by the George Clymer Chapter, DAR, Towanda, Pennsylvania. On the level plain between this creek and the river, General Sullivan's army camped. From Wysocks, the road diverges west from the old trail, continues over a modern steel bridge built in 1915, replacing an old covered wooden one made in 1834 to Towanda. 8 miles northwest is Ulster. Passing on the way near mouth of Sugar Creek is site of an important palisaded Indian village called Ogahage, later Oskalooey. Still later, in 1779, Nudie Channing, marked at junction of this great warpath along the Susquehanna, with one leading from this point to headwaters of Towanda Creek near Canton, thence to headwaters of Lycoming Creek, down that stream to west branch of the Susquehanna near Williamsport. At Ulster, Old Cheshiquin was a Moravian mission, removed at time of migration to Beaver in 1772. A steel bridge crosses the river here. Next is Milan Village, near which was Indian Queen Esther's town, destroyed by Colonel Hartley in 1778. Proceeding on General Sullivan's road, one crosses the Chemung, Tioga River on a modern steel bridge and enters Athens, formerly Tioga Point. Here was Fort Sullivan, base of supplies for the army, destroyed by themselves in October 1779 on their departure for Wyoming, marked by boulder with bronze tablet. Inscription: in Sullivan's expedition, the march that destroyed savagery and opened the Keystone and Empire states to civilization. 4 brigades, furnished by the states of Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey, and New Hampshire, with Proctor's artillery, and Farr's riflemen took part. At Tioga Point, along the southern door of the Indian Confederacy, 5,000 troops encamped. Here stood Fort Sullivan, with 4 blockhouses, from August 11th to October 3rd, 1779. Tablet erected by Tioga Chapter, Daughters of the American Revolution. Below the plate is embedded a ball from one of General Sullivan's guns. The road separates here, one following the Susquehanna to Owego, the other following the Chemung to Elmira, Newtown, New York. Near the latter road is the battlefield of Newtown, where General Sullivan fought the Tories and Indians in 1779. A soldier's monument is on the campus in front of the old Athens Academy, designed by McKim, Mead, and White, New York. Ground foundation 25 feet square, enclosed in granite curbing with polished globes at each corner. Pedestal 11 feet high. Rising from the center, polished granite. On unpolished granite coping, surmounted by a bronze group. The protection of the flag. Barefoot drummer boy with a flag over his shoulder, and a tall, fearless soldier, holding a musket which points to the ground. Sculptor George T. Brewster. Inscription in bronze letters, fitted to the face of the granite. Pro Patria et Gloria. Erected to the memory of our soldiers who fought in defense of the flag. Presented by Joseph Whipple and Charlotte Snell Stickler. Spalding Library and Museum, classic Renaissance with Ionic porch, open to the public, contains paintings, portraits, and relics. In 1688, a Spanish fort was near the present borough of Athens. Population 4,384. Towanda, county seat, laid out in 1812. Population 4,269. Courthouse, native sandstone, classic Renaissance, built in 1897. In front is the soldier's monument. At base are bronze tablets inscribed with names of battles of Bradford County men in war for the Union. Pickett's charge at Gettysburg, and the battle scene at Antietam, dedicated in 1901. Towanda Free Library, French Renaissance, brick, built 1897, was given and endowed by Francis R. Wells of Paris, France. Architects Barney and Chapman, New York. Contains a special set of books, L'Art. In Christ Protestant Episcopal Church, native sandstone, is memorial window to William Ulysses Mercer, Chief Justice of Pennsylvania, 1882-87. Makers, Cox, Sons, and Buckley, London. The Methodist Episcopal Church also has memorial windows. Historical Society of Bradford County, fireproof building open to the public, contains Indian and Civil War relics, curios, and portraits of pioneer men and women, a reproduction of a pioneer log house, and specimens of all native woods in the county. In Riverside Cemetery is the grave of David Wilmot, who made the famous proviso engraved on his monument against slavery. There are many borough and township high schools in Bradford County. End of section 50.